Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. So today will be the first time I'm going back to Prodeus in about nearly 2 weeks, I want to say. It's been a while, which isn't good. Hello MFG, hello AD, hello Bellafly. Thank you very much for the warm welcome, calling me a nerd and all that. Happy to do you a service. So, over to Prodeus, when it wants to appear. There we go, about time. So, we have this map, which I was previously working on, and it's in a relatively unfinished state, and to be honest with you, I don't really know what I'm doing with this now. It's been a while, I've completely, disconnected it from my head at this point, and I need to get back in the flow of things. So this stream is going to be about working out what I've got, refining what I've got, and improving it, and then hopefully moving on to redo this train stuff. I remember the last discussion I had with Jason, the other level developer for Prodeus, was instead of using this bigger, bulkier train, this one in particular uses a hell of a lot of faces for its decoration inside and out, which will mean it's kind of inefficient. Ignore the sort of sloppy state this is in. Yeah, so that needs to be redone, basically. And there is this train. This is an alternative train that was made for a different level. See how we've got this variant here where it has windows on just one side. We've got a variant where it's open paneled, but laser grid, that sort of stuff. We're going to look to use this instead. These sort of train carts. So I think that's going to be what my focus this stream is redoing the train section with these. Finding an interesting way to connect these up that doesn't look stupid, and going from there. But first things first, I think I will play the map in its current state, as unfinished as it is, just to see how we're doing. And hey, Shraz, thank you very much for the host. How are you, dude? Let's go. So, yeah, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, you don't get the weapon until later on. Good to hear you're doing well, mate. I, too, am good. That is loud. Let me know if the game's drowning me out, guys. I don't know if it's too loud from your end or not, but it's loud on my end compared to the music right now. Hiya, Sino. Yeah, I'm really good. Good, Shraz. Got my new computer built. That's what I'm running on now. So as you can see, the frame rate should be nice and smooth your end. And I'm not having to play it on this fuzzy quality to get that. I can play full quality and not suffer the consequences through Streamlabs. And the same goes for everything. Pretty much everything. Okay, if the game could be turned down just a notch, I will do that now. I know you can't see it, so here's one thing that I couldn't do before when streaming, was I couldn't use the game capture. I had to use the full screen capture, and I just had to get used to doing it that way. Just because oh, hello. Because it used to be the only thing that OBS would actually let me see. And that's shit. That's shit. So I'm now using the actual game capture, which means I can hide all the bits you don't need to see, so on and so forth. There is a ton of ammo here. We don't need all that. I've forgotten what the trigger point is for this guy. That needs refining. We'll move him as well. I'm gonna get those lasers to kill this guy for me because he seems to be stuck on the wall. That'll do. Nice. Yeah. So I can now use game captures, which is good, and it seems just better all around. I'm glad you're excited for it, Shraz. Gotta be careful of those lasers. Those SMGs are hella inefficient. Chocolate covered Josh. Well, well, well. Hello, Nev. This is a new feature. Got a weapon scroll wheel instead. Oh shit. Shoot the guy. So some changes have changed to the engine. Yeah, there is a lot of guns planned. Bitch. Thank you. There are a lot of planned weapons. I think it's 3 in each category is planned. So here I could toggle between these ones, and if I get two of the same kind, I assume it'll toggle vertically if I hit the key at multiple times. Which would be nice when they're all done. No, this is broken. Shit. Well, that's something I've got to fix. All of these guys were supposed to be revealed. And they're stuck there. Love it. Yeah, that's not how that's supposed to be at all. Okay, I'll fix that momentarily. Seems a lot of my triggers are broken. Interesting. So there's been a change in the engine somewhere. There have been a few changes as far as I'm aware. So I've noticed that big reds now charge at you when they do their attack, like they actually lunge towards you, which is pretty cool. These guys. Huh. I'll just kill these guys so I can show you that a bit more. So when he goes to attack, he actually lunges forward, so he's harder to dodge now. Monsters are now solid, so I can't push them out of the way when I, like, push them around. When I run into them, rather. So they're not my little bitch anymore. Which is a good thing. That weapon wheel is obviously a new feature. I do have feedback on it though. It shouldn't appear if I only have one weapon of that kind and I try to select it. You can scroll through the weapons with the scroll wheel. But like, up here, if I hit the button for shotgun, it should just pick shotgun if I only have one of that kind. So that's a change I'll be petitioning to have made. Oh yeah, this trigger triggers multiple times. I remember this from last time I did a session. Okay. Yeah, mod support is a dying thing, but I understand why. It's like, it is a big ask to make it. This guy's a bit too chunky for this area, I think. Okay. So that's pretty much all the gameplay this map has now, at the moment. You've got a sort of winding path around here. Ignore that. So that green key will be inside here, is the plan. And you'll see, like, an arena inside of there. That is also a good point. It does technically compete with the concept of DLC, but that's only because they fear mod makers will make better gameplay than the actual game itself, which half the time is true. Yeah, so coming over this way, there will be a way up here. And when we get up here, I'm just going to freeze the monsters for a sec so they can't shoot me. So once we get up here, there'll be some terrain going around this way. And like a long straight with a few bunkers that you can hide in around here, dodging in and out to avoid being sniped by those guys. Eventually you'll drop down, make your way around, navigate up here, pretend that train wasn't overhanging in the way. And then there'll be an entrance to this building here. So you'll see the train in here, you'll navigate around it. You'll know that's where you've got to go. This will be a, like, sealed room, you won't be able to see the sky in here. Coming around, you'll get to kill these guys. I'm just gonna keep the cheat on. And, oops. Fancy that. Let's re-go in. So there's a lot of change that needs to be made here. But yeah, you'll be able to take this gun from them. And that is a pretty powerful weapon, and it chain lightnings between enemies. You'll grab the weapon here. And then I think what I'm going to do is once you've come to here, I'm going to spawn like a guy over there or a guy there or something that you get an opportunity to just snipe. Maybe a couple, just basic enemies. That'd be good fun. Then you'll drop down into the train. Ignore the fucked terrain here. There's too many like half-built brushes in existence. But yeah, you'll navigate your way around the train. Away we go. And then you'll end up in that arena where the green key is supposed to be. So you'll do combat in here, and this will be an arena which will hopefully shine the value of this particular mode of fire where you can chain onto enemies. So there'll be like a big tough guy in the middle and a lot of weaker ones. If you shoot the tough guy, the lightning will chain out from it, killing all the other stuff. And yeah, once that's done, you'd then be able to navigate back, going back through the green pathways that you left closed. Oh yeah, I never did pick up that green key that was here, did I? So yeah, you'll be able to navigate back. A lot of things seem to be broken. I'm gonna have to inquire as to why. So yeah, that one as well. And then you'll be down here at the end of the level where you hit this door. Boom. Big ass door. And that'll be the exit right here. So it's a medium small level overall. Yeah, that door is sick. Unfortunately, I can't take credit for that one. That's just a prefab I'm using. Okay. Let's hit the music. I'm taking music requests. I prefer instrumental stuff over stuff with vocals just because it's less distracting. Right, let's see. So, going through. So I just got a couple of messages. I'm just going to check, make sure none are important. Right. Cool. So, we had this guy here. He seemed to trigger a bit incorrectly. Why was that? It waits till you get to that window. I think the way I want this to... Oh, the widget's new. And it rotates around now. Oh, that's huge. That's huge. That's so much more convenient. What a great update. Okay. Look at me, like getting excited about editor updates. So we're going to make this wider. We'll make that 20. So if you cross this line, that guy will spawn because he's supposed to be out of your line of sight, basically. He's just like a added threat that appears. Let's see. I'm going to rotate that around just a notch. Bring it down this way. There, so if you cross here, you wouldn't be able to see that bloater. So as you come around, he appears, essentially. Alright, Shraz, I'll bang that one on next. Go for it, MFG. Let me queue that one up real quick for you, Shraz. Oh, God, I love... it's Fire Luna. That's already in this playlist, dude. The music is very quiet. That should be a bit better for you. Haken, Nil by Mouth. Another great track. And already in the playlist, I think. I've got the instrumental version of it in the playlist. I can't remember if Nil by Mouth even had lyrics, and I assume it doesn't based on the song title. But I have Haken's instrumental releases in this playlist as well. Okay, so we'll consider that fixed. Disable after triggered, yes. We've got this one here, that just needs disable after triggered. Perfect. Okay, so what was actually broken? We had this encounter here broken. That's making me worry a little bit, so there's a lot of scripting to this piece. So that triggers this relay and those lights. Don't worry about those lights. So this relay, what do you trigger? You trigger the movers. Is it just a case of they're not parented? Is it really that simple? Has everything lost its parenting? Is that all it really is? It would appear to be that, yes. So we just need to reparent the left. Reparent this. Assume that's correct. Movie, yep. Reparent this one. What was the next thing that broke? I think that was everything. Shraz, this editor is part of the game, so let me just save what I've done really quickly. Save. Cool. So it's going to hang there for a second. Right. So let's say you first boot the game. This is the first time you ever boot the game. You're greeted. You'll be asked to log in. If you can't log in, you can't log in. That's whatever. You can make an account. And once you've made an account, the online stuff will be available to you, like multiplayer, cloud maps. So things that are stored on the cloud will be there like that. So you can play other people's levels. You can host your maps here, so on and so forth. But right there on the very first page of the game itself is level editor. So you can jump straight in and get creating. When you first boot the level editor, the default map will appear, which is just like a grey block with like a player start and a sun entity. And you can go from there and build what you need to build. Yeah, man. I'd never played Trackmania, but there was a game I think similar to it called Elastomania. God, that takes me back a long time, like 20 years now. Where you used to make levels in that. Yeah, that was good. Right, I'm going to do a really quick retest. I'm going to freeze monsters because I don't want to spend time just playing the same thing over and over. I'm just going to run through and make sure everything works the way it should. Bitch. So in theory, we can't see the bloater. We can see the bloater. He now exists. Just going to double check that he doesn't respawn on death. Or, well, re-trigger after death. So if I walk past here again, that doesn't respawn. Good. I need to check that trigger actually, so let's do that. Yeah, that doesn't cause a respawn. Good. When we go this way, they still don't work. Fuck. $200 for a laptop. Yeah, that must have been quite weak. That also doesn't work anymore. I need to check what's happened to these movers themselves then. Do they not have any values? Let's go get the green key. Oh, no clip through the floor. Fuck you. Oh, failed with the jump. Oh, for those of you who were here yesterday and know that the stream wasn't fully set up, I've reconfigured all of the sound commands now. Yeah, would you look at that? Things are still broken. Okay, so let's start with a simple entity, which will be the lift. Why are you broken? Also, I'm going to line up that song. Add to queue. Nil by mouth. Add to queue. And check the queue. Yep, cool. Those are in a queue. 10 years ago, $200 for a laptop. Fuck me, that must have been bad. Okay, so we have a mover. You are set to move minus 8.75, which has been represented here. That's fine. Take 2 seconds. Wait for end. Ping pong motion. That's fine. And this is parented to it, correct? No. So that's now parented to it. Let me click off it. Click it again. That is parented. 100%. Play from here with no clip. Slap the button. Curious. Okay. Okay. Fine. This button needs to be parented to that, and that mover needs to be parented to this mover. Play from here. Oh, dude, Portal 2 mapping was fun. I've got 2 maps published on the Steam workshop, I think. They're nothing special, though. Okay, so the trigger for that button isn't working. It seems like all my scripting has been damaged. Okay, so we've got the button here. Right, I'm going to hide you for a second because you're in the way. Oh my god, I can resize triggers like this. Yes. Fuck yes. Okay. That is helpful, because before I had to type in the numbers to get the size I wanted. And then reposition the thing accordingly, because it would just expand from the center. So like, say I had it this wide and I wanted it to be twice as wide, I'd set it twice as wide and it'd be like that. But I actually want it over here, for example. Play can activate entering, disable after triggered. And you are set to trigger the play of this. Okay. So when that finishes playing, we need to trigger that. No, we don't. What does this relay do? That's a container, sorry. What does this relay do? That relay just does those. So why do I have this relay? That seems totally arbitrary. Right, give me a second, guys. I need to work this out. Oh shit. Fuck, I fucking skipped the songs. Dick. Sorry. My brain is a little fried. Meant to turn it up and I hit skip. Ugh. Add to queue. Right. Okay. So, let's start from the beginning. The button. The button does the sparks, we don't need to worry about that. And then it starts the mover. The mover, it moves down on the play. When it finishes moving down, it does the sparks again. It resets this trigger and it resets this mover in case it's been used. Perfect. So then when we get on lift, we stand on the button. This triggers this mover to go in the floor and it triggers the two sparks. That's fine. We need to then trigger... That's why we had the relay. So let me bring that back. So we got that there. So that would trigger the relay. Now, the relay triggers targets sequentially, so it either moves down or it moves up. So this shouldn't be triggering the play. It should be triggering this instead. So on the first trigger, it plays, so it goes down. And then on second play, it goes back, so it goes up. The mover can change position of anything that is geometry. So you can't move other entities with it, but if an entity is on an object, like a piece of terrain, then they move with it. So you can do horizontal lifts, vertical lifts, spinning fans that you can stand on, all that sort of stuff. So the button should come down with it. You can get frozen in place. Why then is this not working? It's enabled. The player activates it by entering. That's not parented, that's what it is. That's all it is. Yeah, man, the new Haken album. I know Jimmy's very excited. I am too. Cool. Stand on this, we go back up. And that gets locked down, so you can't re-trigger it to go back down. I'm just going to pause the song so we can't hear it for a sec. So if I go back here, re-trigger this, that button pops out, we can use it again. Good. Okay, problem 1 solved. Let's go for the simpler one, so let's do these gates. So, this isn't parented. That's a problem, so we parent that to the mover. We have 2 buttons, they should in theory do the same thing, so they trigger each other to stop the other one from working, and they trigger the relay. The relay, as we can see here, triggers the 4 special effects, and it triggers the mover. the mover, when it finishes moving, triggers special effects again, and it ends. So I think that is as simple as the parenting hadn't happened. Entities, keys, green key. Let's make my life a little easier. Play from here. Oh. Right, take the key, slap the button. She works. I want to add a little special effect to that while I'm here. So we're going to duplicate this. We're going to move that along, slide that to be bigger. We're then going to grab that texture, assuming I can grab from prefabs here. No, you can't. Do I have one of those plasma walls? Yeah, we'll do that. Gotta add sound effects. Makes mapping more fun. Get our green and apply that. Then we slide that down here. And then what we're going to do, we're going to have a container. Caps lock C. It's a bit of a strange hotkey, but I can work with that. And we set this container to be turned off. We parent this to the container so that when we turn on a container, this geometry turns on. Make the sound effects part of the editor. We so should. Cool. So we get this. When the mover finishes moving, we turn on the little plasma. Play from here. And then that'll match the green key door that we saw earlier. There you go. That creates a nice level flooring to run across as well, rather than a weird dip in the floor. I can get behind that. Okay, so let's repeat that on the other side. So grab the container, grab the plasma, copy, paste. Don't paste. We're not where we want it to be. Paste. Right, rotate that. 45. Slide it into the floor. When our mover, which is on this side, finishes moving, we turn on that container. And all we need to do now is parent this to the mover and we should be good to go. So again, if I play from here, that one's good. Get out of my way. Nice, he missed. He charged off. Get fucked, fatty. Beautiful. Cool. Sweet. So, what else was broken aside from the big corridor? I think that was it in terms of level scripting so far. So yeah, we just need to fix this one. Now, this one's a bit more of a big one. It seems like it just didn't want to save this set of parenting, so I'm going to redo that. Aggressively slapping my keyboard and mouse. Move you in the middle so you're easier to see. Play. Wait, we're going to save because everything else is working. Then we're going to play from here. So how's everyone's weekend been then? There we go. That's the effect we're looking for. I still need to get rid of those poles, I think. So everything could just charge out. We'll worry about that later, because that is effort. Yeah, the sparks are really easy to add as well. They're just a decorator, as we call it. So we've got decorators and we have fire decorators now. Ooh, that's new. Yeah, so we've got like a few different types of decorator, and then there's one shot, things that happen once. So you've got small and medium sparks. There's your sparks. All you need is something to trigger them, and then they'll do once, and then you could set up a cycle which triggers them over and over if you've got some like broken tech thing, so on and so forth. Right, I'm going to take this piece. And I'm just going to make a little chunk here by extruding the edges. Bridge those. I'm actually going to add one more angle here, just so it's a bit less low poly. Copy the texture. Now we've got a little stepping stone. I'm going to bring that into the middle here. Nice. Happy days. So the trains were going to be my focus for this stream, so let's get onto that. These were representative of where we expected the trains to be in the original design. We don't need those anymore. So let's get rid of these. Yep, that's good. Does that go all the way to the end here? Okay, cool. Right, so we can delete those. No mercy. Next up, I'm going to keep this corner. Just in case I go back to using these trains for any particular reason. And the way I'm going to keep those is I'm just going to lower the grid to the enlarge the grid to the largest and just chunk it up there. So they're out the way up in sky. You can faintly see them at times through the sky, but like there you go. You get this like weird shadow effect. Don't know if that comes through on stream very well. But yeah, we don't need those, so we're going to keep them out of the way for now. Hello, Jason. How you doing? So Jason, I noticed a lot of my movers in the map. Map faces is 15k max. Gotcha. I was actually talking about faces earlier and how I'm going to be removing these trains to support these trains instead because they're lower poly. Yes, Avernus. Is there ambient occlusion? That is exactly what's making it visible, yes. The AO is what is showing through. So, depending on what render mode you have, depends on if AO shows, I believe, but I think it's now enabled on all modes. But obviously, player options would hide that later, assuming we put that in an options menu. We're not making a tram ride per se in this one. This one, it's a stationary set of trains. But the idea is that, yeah, essentially you're navigating through a series of trains from one facility through to another. Talking of low poly, or low something or other, here's an 8-bit rendition of System of a Down. Okay, so we got all this. This is not a prefab. So everything that isn't this movable door, which is a prefab, I'm going to merge into one piece. So if I click off, see, anything left is the doors. And those are prefabs, that's fine. Love this in 8-bit, I don't know why. I'm trying to avoid excessively cheesy stuff there, Avernus. Yeah, Jason, so my plan was to make it a prefab. I want to make a couple of variants where, so as you can see on this train, it has windows in just one side. I want to make one which has windows in both, windows in one side, windows in no sides, and one with a skylight hole in the roof. Alternatively, instead of the skylight, I might just use this one instead. Prodeus train level when, as in like always on the train? Because there's a few trains in Prodeus already. I want to make this a bit less bright and in your face, so let's go for a darker blue. That's more see-through, I like that. Well, the thing is, so you're coming up with these great ideas, Captain Ico. We're putting the level editor in the game itself, so people like yourself and other people If there's ideas that we as developers for the game didn't explore, you can, and you can put that in a community and have your take on what you want the game to be, essentially, with custom content. Really, Cyano? Jason, yeah, as I was saying, so I noticed all of my movers had deparented, so like nothing was parented to the movers. Movers that were attached to movers weren't parented to each other either. The only stuff that still worked was the prefabs. Was that a recent change while I was suffering downtime? Nuts.wad. We don't need nuts. Come on. We want playable things, right? I've noticed this one doesn't have a back face. Why might that be? Interesting. Yeah, that'll do. It might have been something to do with me copying the map from my old installation over to this one, because the latest wasn't on GitHub. Just do an integrity check, make sure everything else is good. Yeah, it's alright. I am going to make an adjustment to the train here. Just a small one. Oops, don't want to grab that. That's the only problem if I merge all this into one shape. We're going to make that spotlight, and we're going to make it point down. We're going to increase its angle to 60. We're going to make its brightness or intensity 2. And lift it up a bit. And then shimmy it forward a touch. There we go. That's what we're talking about. Make sure it's not lighting up too much of the inside. It is. Okay, so I need to point that away slightly. Might even need to move it up a touch. That's better. Hazard was super close to the budget, and that's after we cut it. Would it have been over the budget, do you think, had we not cut it in half and made it 2 levels? Actually, don't do that. And we'll flip that on the Z-axis. And then we'll move the geometry out. 1. Oh, autosaves. That is a good feature for me. I even have a stream chat command for you guys to tell me to remember to save because I'm so bad at it. Okay, so that's too far out on this one. So we need to go down 1 grid, move it back a notch. Ah, maybe not. Why am I getting the light on the top edge there? I think that's okay, actually. I am tempted to increase that intensity to 3 just so it stands out a bit more. Yeah, there we go. That's what we're talking about. Boom. I should, MFG, I should. I'm the other way. I don't save, I just test. I keep testing things. And luckily in Prodeus, when you do a test, it saves it as a second copy. Like, so say you've got your map. We'll call it the map. And there's 2 file formats. There's .map, which is a compiled version, and .emap, which is an editable map version. When you test a map, it creates an extra one. So it's your map.backup.emap, I think. So if it does go a bit like say you test it, then afterwards you had a crash, or you just close it forgetting to save, or you have a power cut, whatever it may be, you do have the last time you test it also saved, and all you have to do is just rename it by taking .backup or whatever that string is out of the file name. Slap down a thing, save. Move a thing, save. Change a slight bit of geometry, save. Just gonna make sure the textures are consistent along here. That's better. Much better. Toxic has to get the basement chopped. That's sad. So, where did the, if you don't mind me asking, where did the 15k cut point come in? Is that a optimization based thing, perhaps for consoles, I assume? PS4. Okay. Yeah, it is a good number. You can get a lot done with 15k. Is there a way for me to check? So like map properties. There's 3 bad brushes in this map. Would you believe it? Not sure where those came from. They're gone now. Okay. File, save. Play from here. Total faces 22,000. And we're... did you say 15,000 or 50,000? So I'm 7k over already. I mean, I know where a lot of those are. I do know where a lot of those are. So, this wall here, I haven't deleted the backside of that at all, which is a ton of faces. And then I've got a whole backup of that area here. So, if I was to just delete that, because I probably won't need that now, I could come around and clean that up, and then again, same on this side, I need to clean that up. But if I did a play from here now, that cut like 4,000 from it already. So yeah, there is a lot to clean still. If I was to go ahead and delete those other trains, I'm going to skip that one. Not in the mood for too much 8-bit. But that was an MCR song. So if I play again from here, after removing those trains, 14,900. So those trains were hefty. Interesting. Okay. So let's have a bit of an optimization pass now, shall we? So this bit down here is something I could probably try to tweak to use less total. It's not too much, but there are definitely ways I could tidy this up. So that is a first part that I could optimize. We've also got this wall, as I said, like the whole double-sided nature of it is part I need to clean. But we'll come to that later, as you said. Still got these trains here as well. Those can be deleted. The rockwork itself is really quite clean. Small, minimalistic use of shapes. Yeah, you're right. You are right there. Yeah, so if I save now, and then I do a very rudimentary edit by just quite literally deleting half of the backside of the walls. So I'm going like this. Deselecting the inside of here. Cool. And then we'll just use surfaces. Line that up as best I can. And just delete all that. Oh. Tried to move the camera while it was working all that out. So if I did a play from here now, down to 12,000. So there's a good 2k I can lose from just deleting those walls. What I might end up doing is rebuilding those walls a bit to use less faces. As you said though, we'll worry about that later. First things first, let's get these trains in. And these are quite clean and low poly, really. So I'm going to load the map, because I don't want to keep that hasty deletion of the back face in case it goes wrong. Avernus, that is technically both at the same time, and the reason for that I'll show you. Entities, map items, auto map. If I play from here, so we have this auto map item. If I load the auto map up, I'm going to pause music. Yeah, I still think we need to just not show the level behind the auto map, because unless it's dark, you can't really see what you're doing. So yeah, the map, auto map, renders the whole thing at any given time, as does the game itself because of the way it works. So there are a few reasons for it, as far as I'm aware. I'm not the programmer, so I couldn't tell you the reasons with a straight face and tell you that I know everything. General VV would be the person to tell you more. Probably could make huge maps. So, like, the editor itself at the moment has a limit saying 50,000 surfaces. I'm not sure. Not sure if that's a limit that we're putting in place. So on and so forth. Yeah, yeah, there is that, Jason. So are we going to be tidying up this prefab then? Because that's obviously quite a lot of faces in and of itself. So we can have one where there's no windows on the side, where there is windows on the side. I need to delete this train. Use this one, which has the lights now. Then we're going to get one which has both sides as windows. And then one which has no sides as windows. So I'll just copy that, ready to do that. Yeah, okay. On this map, you mean? So let's delete those panels there. And subsequently these panels. I wonder how many faces are on that cyan map that I made that we're not using at the moment. I bet that's quite a big one in terms of face count. That crate is 400 a pop. Christ almighty. So there's one with windows both sides. Then we're going to make one which has no windows at all. That's a good question, MFG. One for Jason. So we're not locking people from making maps too big for consoles. It's just, it will advise them that they won't be playable on console because the console is a console. Boop. And we're going to bring these across. Flip on the Z-axis. So there's our train with no windows. I need to merge the windows to this train here. So what you guys can't see, let me switch screen for a second. This is what it looks like on my end, where I've got the chat on the screen. I can't see shit with all this conversation. I'm not used to having people chat this much. And that's good. It's a good problem to have. Keep talking. But, yeah. No, Shraz, don't you dare. No, what that is highlighting is I used to have different settings on this application. You can write your own CSS basically, so it knows how to display them. The chat. It's just a web widget basically displaying over the top of my screen. And the CSS I'd written had some like keyframe animations plugged into it that made it fade out sooner than it does by default and stuff like that. So here's the thing with Steam Workshop from my perspective. I actually don't like it. Don't know why. It just seems like an extra step versus having it in the game already. What song is this? Ah, Humanity's Last Breath, Shoals. Okay. Right, I'm happy with my train variants, so I guess we'll make these into prefabs. Since we're talking about optimizing, if I do a prefab, we can optimize these more later as well. Like that could become one surface, for example. Okay, so I'm gonna go. Jason, what's the deal with prefabs and prefabs? Is that okay? I can't remember if I've ever done that before. You can't do that. Okay, so I won't select the doors, we'll just leave the doors hanging in limbo. So, copy, file, new, yep, save and new. Paste. Get rid of the default test map environment. Copy, delete. Do I still need to put things nearest the origin point? Is that still the thing I need to worry about? It's a good practice, okay. Then it shall be done. That's not quite in the sense there, is it? Cool. And then, talking of good practice, we're going to lock that so that the textures stay aligned regardless of what rotations we apply. I need a ref map in and out, don't I? I believe. Let's see. To make my life easier, I actually want the origin point at a corner rather than off in the center. That's a bit better. Because then if the origin point is its rotation point, I can rotate it based on one of the corners, and that would be a lot more ideal for me. If not, I've got other ways of doing it. That'd make my life easier. Right, so we're going to go prefabs, save as. We're going to go to geometry, and I'm going to create a folder in here, I think, and call it trains. Yeah, new folder. Trains. Okay. So we're going to call this train underscore simple underscore. This was the one window, wasn't it? Window one-sided. Save. Delete. Paste. Yoink this back down to the same heights. Recut this, so copy. Oh, dicks. Copy, delete, move, shimmy across, shimmy across. One left. Files, no. Prefabs, save as two-sided. Save. And then delete, paste, last one to go. So we're going to slide this. Hello. Grab the yellow handle there, which isn't the one I was looking for. I'm just going to drag this down a bit so it's easier to see where the origin is. So I wanted you that high. And I just need to move it to there. Assets, prefab, save as, train, simple, underscore, no window. Save. Go back to the map itself, so we load map, new map, marksman 12. Sorry. I wonder if Jason's here. That's a concern. Alright. Video. No, it wouldn't be videos. I'm done. Oh yeah, so here's my computer, by the way. So you guys can see. There's the new build. I can't get my hand in the right position. Yeah, really happy with this build. I'm thinking actually, one sec. I'm tempted. Yeah, the music synced RAM is so sick. So down here where my mouse is spinning around, I'm tempted to have this little guy, the little pop Doom guy figure, standing. Oh wow, his visor, because it's green, is going see-through. But yeah, I'm tempted to have him just sort of standing on the like white part. I'd just gently stick his feet down somehow with double-sided adhesive or something. But then I feel like that would kind of ruin the clean aesthetic in there. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, so back to what I was doing. I need to go to Documents, Prodeus, Build, Game Data, Maps, DF Maps, New Map, 12. Okay, so it's EMAP, Quick Play Backup. QP itself. Okay, right. So we're going to call that 12.1. Hi there, how you doing? Happy mapping indeed, although that said, I may have just lost some work. So I'm looking to fix that right now. This is promising. Much better. Okay. So we didn't keep everything. But if all these trains are missing, that means everything that was broken is fixed. Yeah, okay. That's fine. Cool. Prefab browse. Geometry trains. So I can now drag these in. My origin point is on the corner where I wanted it. So I can delete these. Hide that for a second. We'll keep those doors there. But delete these floating lights that are off in the ether. Hi, Jason. Had an issue, Jason. When I went when I went file new and then did save and new, I think it deleted the entirety of the map. So if I go load map, df maps, new map 12, which is the one I was working on, it's a completely blank file, I think. If I go here, we check out what's inside the file, that'd probably be a good idea. There is some stuff here. Actually, it seems like the whole map is here. Oh no, that's the fixed version. Hold on. 12.30 map. Yeah, it's an empty. Alright, cool. We'll look at that later on. I'm going to go back to the Prodeus screen. Okay. So, ignoring that issue that I had, because I've worked around it. Here we are. So, prefabs, browse prefabs, geometry, trains. In you go. That lines up nicely. So, I'm going to delete these doors that are off in the void. Oop. Good question, Saint Bear. I'm not sure. And I was about to say the person who might be able to answer that, General VV, just said that they don't know either. So that is one of the sort of things that we're solving as we go. So that's how we're going to do the corners. So now all I need to do is just compose some custom geometry to fit this gap between them. So, easiest way to do that would be bring in a brush, isolate the top floor on its own. We're going to delete one of the corners. Goodbye. We're going to grab the whole thing, move it down into the same height as the rest of this. And then we'll just drag each point to line up with the geometry here as best as we can. There we go. And then lift this up. And then an appropriate texture for this, I feel, would be the corrugated metal. But this one here won't look so good like that. An idea just struck my mind. Yeah, no, that one there could be... Where is it? Where's the ribbed panel? There it is. There we go. And then for this, I'm just going to create a top piece that goes above. We'll make that just a basic panel. Just so it has some sort of sturdiness to it. Maybe I'll double that on's thickness. There we go. So we can bring this out here, move that vertex to line up with this corner here. Of course, that is slightly off grid. Hey Jason, what's your suggestion for this? Because that is going to be slightly off grid the whole time. Just due to the way rotations work. Oh, fucking hell, this periphery song goes hard. And it's not the instrumental version, even though Spotify says it is. Hey, Arby's, thank you very much for the follow. Oh, yeah. You can't do copy-paste when in the preview mode. That's a mistake I always keep making. Paste that there. So now we have our connector. Now this bit might seem a bit weird, but I want this texture rotated. So the easiest way to do that is to rotate the whole thing, lock it, and rotate it back. There you go. So now it has that sort of look about it as if it could sort of collapse in and out, like an actual train's connector piece would. And to help that be more masked, masked is probably the wrong word, but you know what I mean, like believable. I'm just going to make it darker so it feels more like a ribbed metal kind of thing that can collapse on itself. There we go. Now, this isn't going to line up, is it? What if I was to grid line? That made it worse. Jason, how's the lag? Can you hear me okay? That's the better of the two, unfortunately. I have a feeling Jason might not be able to hear me. Yeah, that's the only issue with this sort of geometry. So if this wasn't a prefab, right, I could have taken one of the edges here and then just grid lined it. So slightly askew, but it would have worked better for this situation. But alas, that's what I've got to use at the moment. So I will work with it. I'll leave that as it is, and I'll discuss that with Jason later on as to how he thinks I could best go about it. He's probably got a genius solution for this that he's already used in the past or something. So there's our train corner. And personally, I'm quite happy with that. So if I wanted to replace this for a different prefab, that might be a bit tricky. But it shouldn't be too bad. So, prefabs, I've already got it here. So if I wanted like a two-sided window one here instead, I can grab that, rotate it to the correct point. Get that point to coincide with where the other prefab is. Delete that one, shimmy that down. Boom. Not quite right. I was off ever so slightly. Look at me, I can't even get this to align now. Again, I'm going to leave that intentionally wrong as a reminder to talk to Jason about this. We'll make it work. We will make that work. No big deal. I'll move that in a minute. So, I'll slide this over here. Undo what I just did. I want to be on a bigger grid alignment when I move it. Not in the mood for the 8-bit. I didn't copy the fucking doors either. I'm so bad at this. Oh well. We'll worry about the doors later as well, because maybe we don't even need the doors on this train. Or maybe only some of the trains have doors. A real train of thought coming out from me today. Get it? So we're going to get that aligned properly. There you go. So this is going to go in here at this point. So. Oh. I imagine that's the alignment we're probably looking to achieve. We'll have like a bridge piece coming across under here. One, two, three. Actually, you know what? I'm going to duplicate that one first, then do this, because that will make my life a lot easier. What software am I using to make this? This is built into the game that we are designing, so Prodeus. This is the level editor that will come packaged with the game itself. So anyone who buys the game, they'll get their hands on this editor as part of the game. Slide that along here. So this piece was designed for the old train, so it might not fit quite right, and it doesn't. I think I'm going to delete these pieces, and we'll come back and do the other bits in a minute. So we'll start with this as our base and work from there. Interesting. Let me go down one grid alignment. Okay, so that is grid aligned. These ones. That's at least good to know. So that'll settle in there. So, out of morbid curiosity, what is our face count at with all those trains in place? 15,000 on the dot. So we've got a lot of tidying up needed for the walls. Those walls will need to be cleaned up. Okay, so far so good. I'm going to BRB for 2 minutes. I need a top-up drink, and I also need a quick toilet break, so I'll be back shortly. I'll leave you with the music. Hopefully it stays as stuff you all enjoy. Catch you in a sec. There we go. I'm back. So, sorry it took a little bit longer. I just set up my fan. Let me know if you guys can hear that on the microphone. It's realistic context for you. That's the sort of speed I would expect someone to take. Okay, so this room here, I really like these little bunkers where you can go underneath. So if we imagined like we had some stairs here, they go up onto the surface, you can come down, stay out of laser sights, dip under, come back up, run to the next one, so on and so forth, then yeah, that would be good. And MFG, I don't know if you saw the thread on Doom Mod or not, or if you've already posted, but me and Jimmy are doing Doom map reviews, so if you want that tested, throw us a copy and we'll test it sometime for you. You know what? I'm going to copy paste this. There's a lot of movers here, isn't there? I want to say these don't need their side faces, like, at all in most contexts. The only one that might need it is here and here. Okay. So we'll keep those. I don't know what that is doing. That's triggering a relay to be possible, so that can go back down. Okay, sure thing, MFG. Oh, music. We love music. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to worry about the scripting side of things. I'm going to copy just the geometry for this. And those lights, because those lights are sick. So if I was to... Oh, in the mid-section. Here we go. Right. Copy. We're going to load back into the map. So DF maps, new map, map 12.1. Oh, you're welcome. In fact, give me just a second. Let me go to my own website here. There is a couple of guides I could give you. So let me just paste this in the map quickly so it doesn't get lost on my clipboard. I'll just leave that there, that's fine. So there's a little guide on... Well, it's not really a guide on staying motivated, but it's ways I go about handling mapping motivation. And then there's one there about how to make an engaging level. Again, these are like not factual, objective stances. These are my views on what makes a map good, how to go about doing that, so on and so forth. Whether or not my maps are good is down to people's opinions, and I just make what I enjoy. So it seems like some of my stuff gets good reception, some of it's not so hot. But yeah, hopefully that can apply to what you're working on. So if we were to get this down over here, yeah, fuck yeah. Put co-op starts in it, maybe double check it is co-op compatible, and Jimmy and I would definitely be interested. Cyano maps are good maps after all. I'm actually going to rotate this that way. I'm really outing myself as a nerd today. First person to state what this music is gets a song request. Go. Yes, Nemenos. We need a Pokemon battle. Are we talking a proper Pokemon battle, like using the games themselves, or using a simulator-like Pokemon Showdown, or whatever it's called, or some other format? Because I'm down. I'm very down, sir. Either way. So I prefer Showdown, I think, because that's just quicker and easier to work with. Don't have to worry about all the fuck-assing around trying to EV train your Pokemon and shit. You can just tell it what the EVs are and it works. Sweet. Alright, alright. I'll see you. You're on, sir. You are on. So this here is too wide at the moment in this current format for the path that we're going to go down. So I'm actually going to delete half of this. Bye-bye. We'll worry about the middle passage in a minute. Movie time for you. What are you watching, sir? Do tell, do tell. Okay, I'm going to not do the doors for now. I'm just going to do the outside and the base. Trying to get back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Cyano, my man. I would love to join you in that, but that is too much of a commitment to relearn the meta and so on and so forth for me. Like, I do not have the time to commit to that. Kindergarten cop. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. I don't think I've seen that since I was young. Assuming it is what I'm thinking it is. This feels like it's a little bit on the constrained side. Yeah, mate, I got into competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Back when that sort of stuff was becoming prevalent. So let me tell you, the learning curve was fucking huge. Huge and expensive, because I realised that my deck wasn't quite as good as it needs to be and I'd have to invest in more cards, and yeah. I don't miss the expense of competitive TCGs. One second. Where is it? I'm sure it's here somewhere. It's probably downstairs. So I used to play a lot of TCGs. I mean a lot of TCGs, and it cost me a lot of money. So yeah, I had a few competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Decks. They're all downstairs, I think, in their respective deck boxes. I used to play Pokemon trading card game competitively as well, so there's like a whole sleeved up deck full of fucking Volcanion EX based shit and all sorts of similar Pokemon. That was a couple of, that was a while ago, when they first did X and Y, I think. And then over here, I've got a game that's now completely dead, which was called Light Seekers. Of course, I had teal sleeves. You can't see those on stream because green. Let me see if I can get that at an angle where it won't kill it. Hit the light. Go on. There you go. You can sort of see the colour. So there's another TCG filled to the brim with like colourful characters and shit, like fucking here, have Patrick Star. There you go. Not actually Patrick Star, but similar. Yeah, I used to play a fucking ridiculous amount of TCGs, and that's where most of my money went. And I kind of wish I could sell these cards for the value I'd spent on them, because then I'd have a lot of spare money. But alas, I don't, and no one buys those cards because they're not competitively viable anymore. Ha ha ha. Trading card games, am I right? So, back to what I was doing. Not admitting to the public how much of a nerd I am/was. Yeah. So that can slide out one notch that way. And the whole thing can go one notch that way, and then we can grab all of this and make that go one notch this way. That should hopefully be a better size. I'm feeling that a bit more. Yeah, that'll do. Playing casually with a friend. A Monarch deck. Mate, I had Monarchs. Well, sort of Monarchs. It was Treeborn Frog based Monarch deck back when that was actually a slightly viable option. And then when the new Monarch set came out, I was playing pure Monarchs and they were insane. The one that I used to main was the Yosenjus. I also went through a phase of doing Karakuri OTK because I was a scumbag. At least it wasn't a Dragon Ruler bullshit. I'm not that scummy. Or fucking Madolches. Those pissed me off so much. Just remembering that neckbeard who was rich for no reason down at the fucking place we used to like compete was being like, well, just spend more money and you'll win. It's like, well, that's not what the game's about, you fucking dick. I like having a less than perfect deck and still winning because I'm able to play with strategy and intelligence rather than just getting a card with more text on it. If you want to force someone to play old school, fucking throw down a Gravekeeper deck. That's the way forward for pissing people off. Or it used to be, at least. In fact, I think my Gravekeeper deck was over there. Oh well, I'm not going to go get them now. That's too much. Too much effort. When I'm supposed to be mapping. I think I'm happy with this size now. Need to shimmy this over by the train. So yeah, that actually fits between here and the train, which is good. That's what we need. So hand traps are, it depends which ones. Like some of them I don't mind too much, but the ones I know are old by today's standards, like Tragodia. So it's just a hand trap that gives you a powerful monster on the field, but it wasn't that great. Like, it was easy to play around it still. Or Max C, which just let the player draw a fuckload of cards if you kept special summoning. So it just makes the opponent not special summon for a turn, if they can help it. Unless they know they're going to win. Like, those ones aren't too bad because they're not completely overpowered. Oh. New meta, Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. I don't know those cards. Not gonna lie to you. I haven't got a fucking clue. Also, do me a favour and do not tell H-Nox we were having this conversation, otherwise he'll just keep begging me to get back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Again. And we all know I don't have time for that. No, you can have the conversation, that's fine. It's more, don't tell a certain someone, that's all. They're not here right now, it's all good. I mean, if I was gonna throw out any more, I guess you could say guilty confessions of sorts, even though I'm known as a retro gamer, so on and so forth. I've been playing that new Call of Duty recently, and let me tell you, it's fucking fun. Like, it's a lot of fun. I feel moderately disgusted at myself for thinking this, But there you go, that's where we are. Yep, the Battle Royale mode, Warzone, is actually good. It's engaging and it has a slightly forgiving mechanic, so it's not as impossible to get into as, say, Fortnite, where when you're dead, kind of. To be fair, Fortnite have changed that as well, but there you go. Like, it has really good gunplay. Like, pretty much every weapon feels satisfying to use. There's very few in that game that I don't like using. Then the actual multiplayer, like, when I used to play, I always used to like playing on hardcore modes, and now playing on hardcore free-for-all on a PC rather than with a controller, I suddenly don't feel like I'm just mentally incapable of it. I actually feel really good, and I'm in like the top 3 or first position in most games. It's really fun. Really fun when you're in that position. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you there. If I could convince you at any time, then I would play with you. If you were down. But I'm not going to force you to do so. That's on you, my friend. You'd be surprised. Like, the people I play with mostly are American. So I'm playing on American servers the whole time. And I'm only getting about 100 ping. All things considered, that's pretty fucking good. Let's turn the grid off for a second. Four. 3. Delete these ones. And then we're going to get these trims here. So my thinking here is I actually connect these tunnels up. Like that. Map them to local and realign. There we go. Do the same here. Speaking of ping, you recall when you gave AMEC multiplayer a spin and you were hitting 260 plus ping. Ooh, that stings. Yeah, you don't want to see that. It's a weird one. Like, I feel like ping numbers are not quite correctly represented today. So, like, back when I used to play on Doom multiplayer, like Skull Tag, and I'd have a ping of about 200, it would feel playable. Whereas nowadays, if you get a ping of 1 to 200 in Sanjanum, it does not feel playable in the slightest. Based on last night's stream, if anyone tuned in at the start, I think we're going to have a little cut here. And in said cut, we're going to do a little inset. Hold on, need to align that better. Let's put the grid back on. That'll help. And in that inset, we are going to apply a blue light. Is that a spotlight? Yeah, that one, we'll just put that to a point light, turn off shadows and make it range 8. No. Range. We can do a spotlight. Nice. Narrow that angle to about 90. Not that big, Jesus Christ. Turn on shadows. Bring that over here. Yeah, that'll do. Blue accent coming off the floor there. And then I will bring the not spotlight one in here as a bounce light. We'll lower the intensity to 1.5 so it's not as overpowering. Yeah, I'm digging that. So that's one way to progress forward. You'll come here. And what I'm going to do, I think... Autosave, I appreciate that. That's a good reminder that I should save after doing all this. I'm going to delete these. And you see these pieces that we've got here. I'm going to make these all work on a piston style thing. So they automatically are just going up and down on their own. So that way you can get trapped in here. And getting trapped in here, we could also have some combat happen. So maybe like when these go up, this wall and this wall come down and they've both got monsters behind or something. And it just cycles back and forth on its own. Maybe there's potential for some interesting secrets like that as well. So first things first, I'm going to delete those three. And we're going to tidy up the faces on this. We don't need all those faces, we only need a few. And in fact, we can tidy this up a lot. Let's see, so that could go. That can go. Wait, you can go. Keep clicking the wrong thing. Like that. So that's much cleaner. Bless me. There we go. So that's how we're going to have this look. And I think we're going to put that texture on here. That's better. That's cleaner. So here again we can go like that. There is no need for this to be 4 faces when it only needs to be 1. And we're going to need to do that on all 4 sides, so I should just delete them and bring this over along with the lift. Easy enough, easy enough. These trims here, again, we could tidy this up a bit. There we go. Boom. Bit cleaner. And one thing I'm going to add is an actual light to this, because this blue light doesn't actually come from anything. And I'm a little bit of a stickler for having light sources make sense. Oh, wow, you recognise that one quickly. I actually don't know Xenogears, I've not played it before, so I know that's probably a shameful thing to say and admit. Someone's probably going to hound me for that one. But I haven't. That's the truth of it. I just like the remix, or remake, rather. I believe this is a Toxic Externity one. It is. What is the time? Yeah, I'm probably going to stop streaming once I've got these 4 things in place, and I'll worry about making them work next stream. I'm also going to try and arrange a discussion with Jason about certain things like the train. And these corner pieces and how they don't align. Okay, so I'm happier with this now. If I was to create a container, we can then grab the lights, both lights rather. Hello. You are right in the way. That's better. Parent that. So we can duplicate that. Get it into position, flip it round. Duplicate, flip on the x-axis, and then move to here. I like the way that blue light is coming up against the train. Yeah, that's nice. So you've got 2 options of tackling this. You've got the go under, wrap around here, pop up when you're forced up situation. And then with these bits here, you can come across the top, hide behind, because obviously there's those guys up there who will be trying to snipe you, so you need to stay in cover. And when this comes up, maybe there'll be like a... Yeah, you need to just drop down here is, I think, the plan. And then from over here, I suppose this piece here could come up. We could do something... Just going to plot this out while the idea is in my head. What song do I want as the last one? My last song for the day. Let's have a quick thought. A thinky think. A stinky think. Let's go Caligula's Horse with their new stuff. Slow violence. Yeah.
When the moment comes to light the last of its eyes on you, leaving us no legacy but residue. It's when you preach your promises like the filth was always there, like we were always dead.
Cool, so we can have a wall here, so as you approach from around here, there'll be like a tower that you can hide behind here. You can skim around to here, you can drop down into here, pop up here, grab some ammo, drop back down, come up, pop down, off you go. That should work. That should be good. Nice. Great thought. Delete these lines. Oh, hi there, DSC. You've just caught me at the end of the stream, I'm afraid. That's okay, because we're going to go and find someone interesting to raid after this. So not all is lost. It's all bright. Don't know if that's a typo or not, but I like it. Ah, it was a typo. All the same, still like the sentiment that suggests it's quite a cheery and positive mentality. It's all bright. Something about this shape is kind of a bit... Yeah, not a big fan. But I'll work on this next stream, I think. There we go. Yeah, so that's not bad progress today. We've got the new trains in place, we've made them into prefabs, we've fixed all the broken scripting from the version updates. We've got these bunkers in place. I'm really liking that stark blue, actually. Yeah, that's good. Cool. Right, let's go have a look at who's on Twitch today. Twitch.tv. And I think I'm going to go and raid... Let's go raid Major Arlene. Oh, I didn't know you were here, What Pro? That's absolutely fine, DSC. Yeah, that I'm probably speaking on Jimmy's behalf. I haven't actually run it by him, but I do think the purpose of our review streams is to try and bring light to the lesser known stuff rather than things that everyone has sort of sung praise about over the years. So that's kind of the main idea behind it. Hope that sits well with you. I mean, there's hundreds of playthroughs of those WODs on YouTube and the likes already if people wanted to watch a playthrough of it rather than play it themselves. So, yeah, we're just trying to cover new ground, shed light to lesser known mappers or people with new releases, with the likes of MFG, for example, and Cyano Blood Run. So, yeah. Anyway, we're going to go raid Major Arlene. So I'll hit the end card and I'll bid you farewell. Thank you for tuning in.